There are a couple things in the syllabus that I didn't have a chance to explain, and I didn't have them on the quiz today. So I wanted to make sure you understood them. One is that at the end of the semester together, that module 6, our last module together, I have you guys doing a curation assignment. And you'll see, starting with this first module, each module I have one, sometimes as many as 3 articles or podcasts that I want you to watch in between classes and answer some questions online about them. At the end, the last module, I have this curation assignment, and there I want you guys to select the my screencast software is giving me some messages. Anyway, I want you guys to select the topic, and the topic can relate to that module 6 material, which is environmental market failures due to externalities. You can choose to talk about some of the broader policy issues that come up in the very last chapter that's on regulatory failure. But you can also choose a firm example and talk about the competitive environment of the firm and use the models that we've talked about by then, we will have talked about by then. Perfect competition being the most extremely competitive, more common, and where we start is a firm that has some competition but produces a differentiated product, and so it has some ability to raise prices without losing all their customers or lower prices and gain some, or the extreme uncompetitive case of monopoly or somewhat less market power but still a market failure oligopoly. Anyway, you can choose any topic from the whole course. And what I want you to do is find a news article related to that topic, and you're going to produce 5 paragraphs of short writing that you're going to post in a Google Doc. And the introduction will just describe your topic and what the issue is, what's the connection with the course in very broad terms, 3 or 4 sentences. Then you're going to have a section of that curation assignment that describes a news article in that topic, and then you're going to provide a link to that article in a particular way. I like a picture from the article that has a hot link to where on the web you can find the article. I give you all that instruction as we get closer. But anyway, a news article that's related to your topic, and what you'll write is a description of the connection between the news article and your topic area. Then I'm going to want you to have a paragraph of economic analysis along with a link to the section of text that goes over the economic analysis you cite. So if it's most commonly, let's say you're talking about a firm that produces a differentiated product but faces a fair amount of competition. Anyway, you would talk about that, and you would, in just a few sentences in that economic analysis section, what the nature of the competition is, what seem to be influencing the price decisions, what kind of profitability does that firm see, etc. Just in that section. And then what I'd like is, if it's a firm, it's in a market, it's a little bit harder to find the pro and con, but maybe you could have a link to the actual company's website, and then another organization. I don't know if there's some labor dispute. What does the union say? Or if there's a stock report that is pessimistic or optimistic, or both. One that's pessimistic, one that's optimistic. Some other discussion, some other web-based view. If you're talking about a policy, then it's easier. You can do the economic analysis. Let's say the policy is to tighten up pollution controls. Well, you can have a link to the Sierra Club, and then you can have a link to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, or if there's a group that's on the other side of the issue, their website on the issue. Anyway, it's really up to you. Then in addition to the you'll have a Google Doc that's full of these live links. And I have a sample one that I'll post done already, so you see what I mean. But in addition to that, I'm going to have you guys each do a 90-second presentation, and I've got materials on how to do a short presentation well. And there won't be any time for Q&A. We've got 40 students. We've got an hour and a half of class. And if you guys each do a minute and a half, actually, with this 40-student class, I might even give you a 2-minute presentation. But anyway, I'll give you some material on how to make a short presentation. You'll have to make up one Google slide. That doesn't mean one Google slide show. It means one single visual. It could be a picture. That would be my recommendation. But it could be a couple bullet points of text. Again, I'd rather have you just have a picture. But anyway, one slide to support your presentation, and then the short presentation, and all of us will have a presentation evaluation form, and I'll give you a rubric to use to evaluate presentations, and I'll have you rate each presentation, and then the grade on the presentation point will include that rating by your classmates as well as my rating. Anyway, it's really sort of fun. I know it sounds a little weird. It's a little bit like writing a paper. The thinking you're doing is similar to the thinking you do for writing a paper, but the paragraphs are sort of stand alone a little bit more, and it's slightly easier to write than writing a paper. It's slightly easier to grade than when students write a paper. Anyway, that's what we're going to that'll be our capstone experience for the course together.